Hey there, and welcome to Chamber Talk on Fairfield Media Center. My name is Jason Strong, and I'm the director. I am with Mendy McAdams, director of the Fairfield Area Chamber of Commerce. And you can kind of see we're in a bit of a new place. Audio might be a little bouncy. We don't have any treatment up on the walls. Cable management is still kind of going on. I know we're going to be moving again to another space here in the collab, but we want to keep going
fabulous.
on.
It's so fabulous. It is a beautiful facility, and just as much space is upstairs, there's space downstairs. And I am just, every time I turn the corner, I was like, wait, there's more? And there's more?
I had no clue that there was even a basement to this place. And this is actually either a fallout shelter or a bomb shelter. It's soundproof. You can't hear what's going on upstairs, and they can't hear what we're doing down here. Oh. So it makes perfect for a recording studio as long as we can get some treatments for that insane bounce. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so you're going to be seeing some more changes coming up here. This is kind of evolving, which is kind of why we're a little on the sporadic side with this. But but eventually things are going to even out here. We'll have a third mic. We'll be able to have guests, and we'll be able to continue moving forward.
Absolutely. And it's a great opportunity for our members to come in and talk about their business or what they do or their own upcoming events. We've really been trying to reach out and do what our members need us to do.
Well, speaking of events, I noticed you came in with an entire list. Plus, on the Chamber Chatter email, there is a plethora of things to be adding to your calendar.
Absolutely. If you're not getting Chamber Chatter, if you miss an event, you're not getting Chamber Chatter. Go to our website and sign up. It's fairfieldidaho.com. Scroll down about halfway, and then you can join our e-newsletter. Every Monday, you'll get an e-newsletter with all of the upcoming events. And we are already scheduling Santa for Santa houses.
I saw that, and that is crazy. But so much planning goes into a lot of the things that you guys do at the Chamber. And if you don't know, the events that go on in town, they're not small things. They take a lot of planning.
Yeah, and September for us is our slammed month. We have an event a week, a major event a week, plus 2 business after hours, plus all of our member events that we try to get to. I know that the Symmetry Music Festival is coming to Libertyville, and it is going to be a huge EDM music festival coming up, and I'm meeting with their owner tomorrow to talk about what that looks like. So that'll be a fun new event for us locally.
Awesome. Music events, I think, always kind of go over well with Fairfield.
Absolutely. And Fairfield has so many big events. And, you know, you go to those events where you can tell someone knows how to plan an event. And then you go to those events and you're like, oof, I'm going to help you. Let me talk to you about how we do an event.
Like I said, there's a lot of work that goes into them. And if you're not familiar with it, it can be a real
Absolutely.
headache.
So September starts out with us with our next level leader, which is our Leadership Fairfield 2.0 version. So this is our 10th year.
Oh,
10 years we've been doing Leadership Fairfield. And we thought for our 10th year, we really wanted to do something big. And so we've looked at a lot of different things, and we thought, we read through all of the surveys from past recipients, and they all said it's a great way to learn about Fairfield, and it's a great way to meet business leaders. But I don't know, I want to learn about me being a leader. So this one really focuses on personal leadership and community leadership. We're rolling out September 3rd with our first topic, which is, what does being a board member look like? And so we'll talk about.
I remember you talking about that last time.
Exactly. We're going to talk about what does it look like to be on a board, and how is a nonprofit board different from, say, conservation? And there are so many boards in Fairfield when we start looking at this, and all of them need help. Everybody needs help. So we will spend the morning talking about, getting to know one another, of course, which is also exciting, and some team building and writing our own rules, because each class is different. So what's important for that class is going to be different than what's important to our next class. And then the afternoon will be Get On Board, where we'll have area nonprofits and civic organizations, maybe conservation board, hospital board, whoever needs a board member or is looking for potential board members, come set up a table, and the class will be required to go to so many tables and meet the different people, because part of being on a board is finding something that you're passionate about.
Absolutely.
Because we've all had those board members who joined our boards and they thought they were going to love it, and then they went, no way. But they stayed on. Right? So then they're taking up that space that could be much better utilized if you had somebody who is passionate and really wants to be involved. If you wanted a resume pad board, chamber board's not it. We're a 1.5 staff, and so our board works on every single event. They volunteer their time, their talents, their spouse, their children. Everybody helps at the chamber.
Serving on boards is a really, really great thing to do in ways to help the community. I mean, I know joining the Carnegie Museum board, I was into history and things, like that due to the Fairfield History Series and Fairfield Productions and whatnot. Plus, I've always kind of liked documentaries and things. But I found a lot of enjoyment by joining that board.
Absolutely.
And we've got a couple of new members that are interested in it, so we might be nudging them to kind of take the course that you've got going on potentially, and kind of going from there. Because, you've got senior people, type thing. They're wanting to enjoy their retirement, or they're wanting to do certain other things, or they no longer holds interest, or
well, and all of our
like
civic
that,
organizations are seeing that decline in their membership because they used to be much more active and do a lot more things. Every civic organization around the world actually is suffering from volunteers, and you get volunteer burnout. So there are boards where you can have a resume pad. You show up to one meeting a month, you do your business, and that's all you have. Our board is every one of our events has a committee which is run by a board member.
Yep.
So they're all just as busy as we are. So we start out with that next level leader, which we're very excited about. And yesterday we announced that if a business has had more than one person go through the class, we are offering that they can have 2 people come to the class this year.
Awesome.
We don't always do that, but because we have 10 years worth of classes, and a lot of people that went in that class are now not at the same company, maybe have transitioned to a different business, we want to have that opportunity because we would like to see everybody be able to go through the class. So after next level leader, we have our first business after hours of September, which was just announced yesterday, which will be the Fairfield guest houses. So these are 2 Airbnbs at 500 East Burlington.
Were these the ones mentioned in the chamber chatter?
Yes. So
Awesome.
our friend Bob Ferguson from Bob Ferguson Wellness
I know
and Bob
Bob.
Ferguson Leadership, and Bob Ferguson, I know everybody on the whole planet, has opened up these gorgeous Airbnbs.
They look beautiful. I've seen
They're
different images.
so wonderful. And I've tried to book them, and every date I want to go, there's somebody already there. So he's blocked those off. There'll be no people there. There'll be some really great appetizers. You can tour this facility, tour the buildings. And Bob's always got a lot going on. I mean, he could talk all day and I could just listen. So that'll be a great time. And that one's going to be 4 to 6. And then after that, on the 12th of September is our second business after hours, which will be at Addington Place of Fairfield.
Okay.
So they just went through a management change, and they've just upgraded some of their facilities, and they have a new management firm. So there's going to be a lot of changes out there, and that place is amazing. They have their own place for people to do games. They have a movie theater.
Oh, wow.
It is a fabulous place.
I was going to say, it's been quite a while since I've been out there. We've shown our films out there occasionally to the people living out there. And no, that sounds absolutely amazing.
Oh, and the apartments are so gorgeous. I'm always like, can I just come and hang out for a weekend? Because this sounds like there's no kids here. It sounds great. And so then the very next day after that business after hours is Barnyard Bash on September 13th. So that is from 4 to 7. We're ending a little early this year because we would like to not clean up by the light of tractors. We learned our lesson 2 years ago.
It goes into that planning area, doesn't it?
You forget, right? Because we make most of our dates we set at the beginning of the year when there's plenty of light, or we plan it in the summer when there's plenty of light. And as fall drags on, about 7, the sun starts going down. And a couple years ago at 7:30 when we ended, we had all of the tractors. We were pulling our cars up with lights. Like,
wow.
Nobody wants all that.
Yeah.
So we've really improved Barnyard Bash this year. We're going to have a lot more farm animals, which was feedback from our group. And I know that we had a lady call yesterday who wants to bring her dairy cow. So there'll be cows, there'll be pigs, there'll be maybe some goats. We did get some bad news bears. The Community First Tractorcade, which is the little barrel train that usually comes, is broken.
Oh.
So we actually were able to reach out to a local organization who has a barrel train. So we have a barrel train sponsorship available now.
Nice.
But yes, so the barrel train has been solved. It will only be the cattlemen's this year. The pork producers say that they've just got too many events this year, and we don't want to overwhelm those folks. They're volunteers, and we try to really appreciate the time of our volunteers.
I mean, again, there's so much work that goes into these
Oh, my
things,
goodness.
and the commitments involved, can
Absolutely.
really add up on
Absolutely.
certain things. And the Barnyard Bash goes on over at the Mazden Barns, correct?
Yes, and you can do all of those great old-timey skills, right? Like you make the rope and you shell the corn with the thing, and they put the hay up with that horse, and hopefully Tony stays out of the way and doesn't fall out. And
Oh, no.
there'll be 2 bounce houses thanks to our friends at Jefferson County Realty.
That's awesome.
And we still have booth spaces available because we've changed our layup now. So there's actually more space for booths. So it'll be much more spread out. We would like to use all of the grounds there. We're going to invite the local fire department and the ambulance service and police cops, because this is our free family fun event. We want our families to come out to get to know these folks before you need them in an emergency and learn about agriculture, because Fairfield has a really rich agricultural history. And that event is thanks to Agri-Industrial Plastics and Jefferson County Farm Bureau.
Well, and it's also really important because it helps you get to know your community, especially for anyone who's recently moved here,
Yes.
has kids, they're not as familiar. And this is a great opportunity for them to be able to come to an event and kind of hit each little different part of the community. So that's awesome.
It's all fun, interactive booths. And new this year, the Chamber will be selling lemonade shake-ups like at the Iowa State Fair, which is starting this week, for $5, and then you get refill for, I think it's $2.
Oh, nice.
So we just need to find a way to make sure that we cover all of our costs, and so we needed to add something. And we have a new board member, Josh Hyde from Fairfield Tire, who's pretty fabulous, and he came up with the idea and has just run with it, so we love that.
Oh, amazing.
Absolutely. So then next week we have Teacher Appreciation on Wednesday the 18th. Do you see that? Like every single day there's something.
Always something
always
going on.
something at the Chamber. So the Teacher Appreciation event is one of my favorite events. I have a master's degree in special education. I was a teacher a million lifetimes ago.
I did not know that.
I taught severe and profoundly disabled. And so for me, this one's really important. Teachers spend between $500 and $1,000 of their own money to support their classroom,
Yep.
whether that's supplies, decorations, whatever that looks like. And so this is our opportunity to tell them we appreciate them, because they're not always told that, and that's sad. So
And good teachers go above and beyond no matter what.
absolutely. And so a business can sign up to have a table, and then you bring between 200 and 250 of an item, and you are that item person. So if you're the Expo marker person or the Kleenex person or the Clorox wipes, we have a shared Google Doc that all of the sponsors can utilize to make sure that we're all bringing different things. Then we have cider coming from Jefferson County Cider Works, so the teachers get free cider.
Awesome.
We have appetizers coming, and I cannot release the information about where that is coming from, but that's a cool twist we will throw out later in the month.
Nice. You always got to keep people,
gotta keep you on the
Yeah,
line.
exactly. You got to always have something new out there.
So, and then there's babysitting available. So teachers come in, they register, their kids go into the room. I think the library is coming, and Hy-Vee actually is helping with our children's room this year. They get a bag from registration, and they go around and get stuff. And then about halfway through, usually that's where we have Libertyville Savings Bank, who then gives them another bag, because they usually leave with at least 2 bags, maybe 3. And while they're mingling and sitting down and having appetizers, we start giving out door prizes. We have baskets that are donated. We're still accepting baskets. We're really close on being completely full for vendors, because we can only fit 30 in the space that we rent from the convention center, and we would really like to see that completely full.
Do you know approximately how many spaces you
I think
still
I
have
have
open?
6 left, but we have
About 6.
Yeah, but we had reached out to some folks who hadn't signed up this year yet that signed up last year, and so usually almost all of those will. So if you want to help teachers, and if we're full, you can donate money, you can donate a basket. Every teacher can use a gift
There's
card.
always ways
Absolutely.
to be able to give. I mean, teachers are so important. I think everybody at some point in their life has come across a teacher that they just absolutely have adored and has had a very impactful
Absolutely.
part of their life. I know for me, mine was Mark Schaefer.
Oh.
Being an artist myself and all that stuff,
We
I
love him.
practically lived in the art room, and so I probably
He's
got
such a
away
good
with
guy.
more things than I should have. but no, and then being able to continue that relationship, working with
Yep.
him while he worked at the museum and things like that. So
Yeah, so the teacher event's definitely important. Those teachers are taking care of our future, and we need those kids to be happy and healthy and bright, so that our world can just continue.
absolutely.
Then our final event of the year is the Harvest Rush Gravel Grinder, which is on the 28th of September.
That
and
sounds like a tongue twister.
it is. It has been shortened to Fairfield's Harvest Rush because we joined the Iowa Gravel Series this spring. And that series is run by a gentleman named Chris McQueen, who did our start and stop. It was a big blow up finish line thing. And so it said start on one side and finish on the other. And he set that up and did times for us. And we really had a great experience with that. And so we've joined his series. And we are the final leg. We're the championship race. We will be where the points winner is determined. We're the only race that has a cash purse. The night before, we're hoping to we're going to have a 5K, and we're hoping to have a band, but we currently need a band sponsor. Wink, wink.
Nudge, nudge.
Nudge, nudge. And so that'll be a great opportunity. If you're not, like for me, riding a bike on gravel even 5 minutes sounds awful. But if that's your gig, like, let's do it. We talked to a lot of Ragbri riders about it, of course, most recently. But if you want to run the 5K the night before, will be a great opportunity.
Where's the course located?
We're starting and stopping at Cider House.
Okay.
Which is right off the trail, right off the gravel. So that'll be a perfect location. We've not determined the 5K route yet, but the committee is working on that.
Awesome.
So
awesome. Again, you got to keep the new fresh stuff as the event gets closer.
We will not release and this is new for us because I've always felt like we need to release the route earlier so people can plan. That's apparently not what we do, because if you tell people early, they might go out and practice or whatever. So we will release the route the week before, I believe, on a Wednesday. So that is, you can go to bikereg.com to sign up for that one. And
but that was bikereg.com.
Bikereg, BIKEREG, bike registration.
Okay.
Yep. And there's all kinds of races. We in Kelowna both joined the Iowa Gravel Series this year. And I think that it'll be great because we're going to get riders from all over, not just local, not just regional, but all over.
Which brings more people into the community and helps the community growth wise in that way too. So
Absolutely.
All these events, if you can kind of tell, they're all strategic.
Absolutely.
They're all touching on the different bases of the community. And that's one of the things I think Fairfield strives to constantly do. So
we absolutely, and if we all need workers, that we hear that from our businesses all the time, and so we've got to get people to come and see Fairfield, fall in love with it, and want to move here, bring their families here. That helps the school districts. There's so many great opportunities in Fairfield. We heard from the Ragbri riders what a unique, special town we were and how welcomed they felt, and that was just one opportunity. And we need everyone that works in a front-facing position to be able to be a cheerleader for Fairfield. Whether you're working at McDonald's or you're working at Hy-Vee, every person that you touch could potentially not live here. And if they have a really great experience, they might think, well, that's the best experience I've had all week. I should think about living in Fairfield.
Speaking of Ragbri, you said a lot of the riders really enjoyed it, things like that. I was hearing things about that as well. And if you didn't make it out to the Fairfield Square when everybody was out there,
It was great.
It was a lot of people. And so, and I think
everywhere.
And I'm sure I probably missed the majority of it because I had other things going on, but I made it out there, got some footage. We had some people contributing through our website. We have an easy way for people who get photos, take video, to be able, in just a few clicks, be able to upload to our servers and be able to have their content put into something that we're putting together. And so this was one of those. I'm actually currently working on it this week.
Ooh, that'll be
so
fun.
Hopefully that'll be up. It'll be a nice little 2-3 minute little highlight video of different footage and photos. And but events like that, you want to talk about chaos. You want to talk about the organization that goes into that, the frustration, the headaches. Ragbri is definitely one of those.
It's a different kind of animal.
It's a whole different beast.
One of the best things was we were there that morning and we're getting out final details and getting prepared for those first riders. And then we had 3 or 4 riders that came at like 6 a.m. while we're still getting things ready.
I was going to say, did you guys even have barriers out at that point?
We did. And then you walked to the square and you were like, what is that smell? And Aaron Lifestyle Technologies had the gazebo and they had this aroma experience, and it was misting water and it had aromatherapy in it, and the entire downstairs, it was so calming because I was me before an event, which means I'm running around like chicken with my head cut off doing 1,000 things. but it was so calming and it was so wonderful. And they've got a really great line of products. If you don't know about Aeron Lifestyle Technologies, I encourage you to look them up. They are AERON. They have this great product that I have in all my farm trucks called Truck Puck. It makes your trucks not stinky like boys.
And they've been on the Chamber Talk previously.
Yes.
If I remember correctly.
And they won the best kept secret because a lot of people don't know what they do. And they give tours on a regular basis. And they've just got some really great products. And I just love everything about them.
So, yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, walking by those fans up on the square felt absolutely great that day.
And you smelled good, too.
Yeah, exactly. You smelled good, too. And so, I mean, yeah, we had a breeze, the occasional breeze coming through. Definitely could have been a lot hotter than what it was.
We were very fortunate that we didn't have bad weather and that it was really not a bad hot day.
And there are a lot of people that were just laying out under the trees, taking a nap, resting, trying to recharge for that next leg.
It was so great to see all those folks.
It was amazing. It caused some hiccups across town, I'm sure, but well worth it, for the experience of
Absolutely.
it.
And we've made a binder at the chamber. We have a binder for every event that we do, and now we have a RAGBRAI binder, and we have all of our notes in there. We have all of our survey data, all of that information. So when/if they come back, we have that information to know, okay, we need to work on this area or this area. We had a lot of people that helped on RAGBRAI, though. I don't think people understand the enormity of that event and just how many people were personally working on it for months.
Well, we're talking like, what, 15,000 people coming through Fairfield?
We had 20,000 riders and 3,000 support vehicles is what we were told to expect. We were the longest, hilliest ride. We were the 100-mile day, which they only have 100-mile day each year, and we were it. And so we really had a great opportunity to showcase our city, and I think we did a really lovely job. I think there were like every event I do, there's always areas for improvement. A lot of people ask for feedback, and they get your feedback and they put it in that file 13. For the chamber, we don't do that.
Forgotten file folder.
Yeah, and at the chamber, we read our committee meets after an event. We read through every bit of that survey data, and we talk about, okay, so how can we make this experience better next time? And that's what we'll do with RAGBRAI.
It's kind of a similar concept that we have for our films. Each film, we want to make sure we're getting better and better.
Absolutely.
And so that goes hand in hand with that. Every time you do that kind of event or an event like that, you want to be able to get better and better at it.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, RAGBRAI, huge thing. And we've done it 3 times now?
Oh, way more than that. It's about every 5 years.
Okay.
They were here 2019 last, and we had the steampunk geared for weird. Because in Fairfield, we like to lean into our weird. So
we're definitely unique.
I
love
everything about it.
Eclectic.
Yes, we are all of that and then some.
Exactly.
So we also have a community calendar on our website, fairfieldiowa.com, where you can see all of the events coming up. And if you are someone getting ready to plan an event, you can go there and say, hey, this day looks like it's got 70 things going on it. I probably shouldn't put it there. Go to a date where there's not something.
Try not to compete with one another.
There's a limited amount of folks in town, and you don't want your crowd to be burnout either. If you have too many events back to back, which is what we're really cautious of, we don't want people to be like, oh my gosh, it's another chamber event.
It goes back to that volunteer burnout,
or
just that burnout effect.
Yeah, we there are only so many volunteers in town, and you'll notice those really committed volunteers are at every single community event. Werner Elmcourt, there's some of you that are just there, but the best part of it is you are creating our history. No one's going to wonder what happened in Fairfield because we have video and photographic proof.
Exactly, and photo and video is not going anywhere. If anything, it's exploding more and more, especially with everyone having cell phones in their pockets and 4K capability and all that stuff. So it's not going anywhere, and it becomes a living history of what's taking place.
Absolutely. And I love Werner. He is so great to us.
Werner is amazing. He's one of our most active board members on our board.
Bet he is.
And honestly, if it wasn't for him, I don't know where we would be at. I know my involvement with the Fairfield production and Fairfield history films, that can pull me away sometimes, during different things, just because hard scheduling and things like that. And Werner has just been, he is always there. He is at almost every event. We try not to duplicate.
Yep.
So there's no point in necessarily having us both there.
Absolutely.
And
so if we're doing like a candidate forum, which we'll be doing a Meet Your Candidate forum in October, we have to wait till September 1st to find out who all is officially on the ballot. And then if anyone is running opposed, we'll have that event coming up. And if you can't make it, Werner's there to make sure your live stream works. And that's just great. So it sounds like a lot going on. Also, September is my birthday month.
Oh, well, happy birthday. July was my birthday month.
Oh, yeah.
So,
There you go.
so right now we're sitting in that in between.
In October, I'm going to do something for my birthday.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, when do I do something for me? So.
You know, our family has gotten used to, because the last few jobs that I've had, I have to schedule my family vacation around what my work schedule looks like. A lot of people can just say, hey, I'm taking these 2 weeks off, or I'm taking this week off. That's not something that happens in the chamber world, and that's okay. And our family works with that.
I can't tell you how many times where, even during the holidays, we have an
Yes.
event going on. I'm at the event and I'm having to miss my own family event, type thing. And tons of that has happened in the past. But no, it's just one of those things. It's just kind of like, where do you fit it all in?
How do I find that equal opportunity time?
Exactly.
So Santa Clauses, we did talk briefly about Christmas. Christmas is right around the corner, believe it or not. And so we have a Santa in Santa's house from Black Friday to Christmas every Friday and Saturday. And we have some of those dates are still available. If you would like your business to be the volunteers in the Santa house, we will provide the head elf. So in case anything goes wrong, they can be
They have a point person.
They have a point person, and they may wear a elf costume or a penguin or whatever I happen to be in. And it's not just me. I'm very thankful for that committee. And then the business just brings 5 volunteers, and they work the Santa house that night. We make sure you get plenty of credit, and we tell everybody, and we have signage for you. So that's a great opportunity for you to be able to interact with the community. And this event is moving for me. There are children who come to this is the only time they're going to see Santa. They get a free book. They get a free candy cane. They get their picture with Santa. And thanks to the Skills USA Club, the ornaments are made at our Fairfield High School. There will be 1 this year, not 4. And then they go over to the workshop, and the elves over there help them decorate their ornament. Then everybody stops and gets cocoa and cookies. And every Friday and Saturday. And this past year, we saw record numbers of children through that house.
That's amazing.
We did not cut our cookie cost. Usually we have a lot of cookies the first 2 weekends, and then we have just a few the rest. It was slammed the entire season. So that tells me what we're doing is making a difference. And we have people that are coming back and they're like, my grandpa took my dad took me, and now I'm taking my kid. And I end up in tears every single time, because there's somebody who will tell me some wonderful story. And our Citizens of the Year, which we announced at the awards banquet, will be turning on the lights. And that was Lori Fry and Pete Tollinaire.
Yep.
And their families, because they're all excited, and they all have all these littles that will be all excited.
If you've never been to the lighting ceremony up on the square, it is definitely a big deal. I know my dad, he was born here in Fairfield, and that's a tradition he absolutely loved. He lives up in Des Moines. He loves watching the videos that we put out of that, and being able to still enjoy what Fairfield is doing on the square. And so it's a great thing. It's a generational thing. It's been going on for I don't know how many years. I mean, again,
I have no idea.
My dad, I'm 43, so that tells you something. But anyway, so stay in tune. Sign up for the Chamber Chatter at the Chamber of Commerce website, which is
fairfieldiowa.com.
fairfieldiowa.com. So it's that easy. A few clicks, get in the know, find out what's going on, and be able to
never miss another event.
Enjoy your community.
Thanks. Have a great day.
Absolutely. Thanks again for watching Chamber Talk.